Hello, my name is Chris Hammond. I'm the Director of Training here with DotNetNuke Corporation. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can find and install and then open the source version of a DotNetNuke module. So DotNetNuke itself is open source, and it comes, or you have a couple different options for downloading the source code for DotNetNuke itself. But the modules that come with DotNetNuke do not typically come packaged with their source code. So I'm going to show you where you can find the projects and the source code for each of those modules. Then we're going to go through the process of installing one of the modules and then opening a solution or the project for that particular module. So we're going to go over here to a DotNetNuke website. Now this is my development environment. It's currently set up on, I believe, DotNetNuke version 5.6.1, and it's running locally on my desktop. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to work with the DotNetNuke wiki module. So if we scroll down on the host extensions page, we can see that the wiki module is not currently installed. But if we go from the extensions page to the actions menu, to the install available extensions option, we'll see that there is a version of the wiki module available, version 4.2. That's the install package. It does not include the source code for the wiki module. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go get that source code. So the easiest way to find the source code for the various projects that come with DotNetNuke is to go to dotnetnuke.codeplex.com. And then from there, you can find the project on the right side of the page under related projects. Now I'm going to grab the wiki project, so I'm going to go to that page. And then we have a download option here. Well, the green button for download will allow us to download the install version of the module. So we want to click on the View All Downloads option. From there, we have a source version. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that link, agree to the license, and then save that particular source code package. Now I already have it locally, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it just to be safe. So that source package comes as a zip file, just as almost any other module will come when you download or purchase a module. So what we need to do with that zip file is go ahead and upload it into our DotNetNuke installation. So from the host extensions page, I'm going to choose the actions menu, and I'm then going to browse and upload that particular zip file. So I'm choosing version 4.2 source. I'm going to go ahead and click Next and step through the installation process. You have to accept the license, click on Next again, and the installation will complete. If we go to the bottom of the page, we want to make sure that it says Installation Successful. Now from there, we're going to go ahead and click on Return. That'll take us back to the extensions page. Now as we're waiting for that to load, I'm going to go ahead and go over here to my DotNetNuke website folder, into my desktop modules folder, and there we'll find a folder called wiki. So that's where the module gets installed. Inside of the wiki folder now, we have the source code for the DotNetNuke wiki module. So there's a solution file and a project file within here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the Visual Studio 2008 solution. If I go ahead and double click on that, that's going to load Visual Studio. Now, this particular project is set up currently to run out of an address of localhost/.netnuke_2. Well, that's not where my development environment is set up. So I need to go ahead and click on No here. I don't want it to go ahead and try to attach to that path. After that, it asks me about source control. Because the DotNetNuke projects are all in source control on CodePlex, there is information within the project file about the source control. And it's prompting me here if I want to remove that information. So I can go ahead and remove the info. So that will load up the initial project or the multiple projects in the case of the wiki module. Now you'll notice that one project loads and the other one doesn't. That's because we didn't allow that localhost.netnuke_2 path. So what I can do is come into that particular project. I'm going to edit the project. Right click on it, choose edit.netnuke.wiki.vbproj. That's going to open up the VB project file here. Now what I'm going to do inside of that, I'm going to look for localhost. And I find it down towards the bottom of the file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace localhost/.netnuke_2 with my local development environment, which happens to be DNN dev. And I'm going to do the same thing under the next option where it said localhost. Now I'm going to go ahead and save those changes. And close the VB project file. And then within the solution, I can simply click Reload Project. And the wiki module, or the project itself, will be reloaded over there within the Solution Explorer. So we can now go through and start working with the wiki module. Now there's a couple of files that are missing. There's a wiki.dnn file and a 04.02.00.txt file. Those are missing because the installation process for DotNetNuke actually removes them from the file system when the upgrade or the installation runs. So to get around that, what we can do is we can go back to our file system here. You'll see that those files don't exist in the root of the project. But if I do go to where I downloaded the wiki module, and in my case it's in a folder called Downloads, DNN, Modules, and then the wiki source project or source zip file, I can open up that file and copy those two files that were missing. 0402 text and then wiki.dnn. I'm going to go back to my wiki folder in desktop modules, paste into that folder, and then in Visual Studio, if I go ahead and do a refresh, the project now picks up those files. So the DNN file is the manifest. It tells DotNetNuke how to install the module, and the text file was actually a file that tells DotNetNuke what files need to be deleted on the installation process or an upgrade. Now from here, we should be able to try to go ahead and do a build on our project, but we can see that when we do a build, we get a build failed, and that's because some of the references are just missing within our project. So what we can do is come into the project properties, and if we go to the references tab, you can see that the version for the DotNetNuke reference is simply missing. So I'm going to remove that reference, and I'm going to add it again to point to the local version of DotNetNuke that I have running. So clicking the add option is going to bring up a window here that we can then point to the DotNetNuke DLL. Need to choose to browse, and I'm going to go into the DotNetNuke website, into the bin folder, and point at .NETNuke.dll. Click OK. That will add the reference back in. We can see it's version 5.6.1. If we go ahead and save the project, do a build, the module now builds. And we can go through and make changes to that project, make changes to the wiki module if we wanted to. Now there's a new version of the wiki module that's currently being worked on that's going to change the structure of this particular project. It's also going to be released, compiled against Visual Studio 2010 and DotNetNuke version 5.6.2. But with the source code, you could go through and compile it against any version of DotNetNuke that you would like. So that's a pretty quick introduction on how you can go out and get the source code for various modules, install them, and then open those up in Visual Studio. Now in future videos, we'll do some more development work within various modules in DNN. In the meantime, I'd encourage you to check out our module development training. You could find that under our .NETNuke training page, which is under the resources tab on .NETNuke.com. There you'll find a variety of free videos, as well as information about that upcoming module development training and our other instructor-led training. We also have information about our custom on-site and online training offerings. Again, this is Chris Hammond with .NETNuke Corporation. Thanks for watching the video.